This week in the field, seeing the world in black and white and how your camera can help you do that. Hi everyone, I'm Scott Davenport. Welcome to In the Field. Today I'm going to talk about some black and white photography and how our camera can help us find interesting black and white photos. Before I dive in, I mentioned it last week, I'll mention it one more time. I'm working on an In the Field ebook and really made some solid progress in the last week. If you are interested in that, you've been a fan of the show, I think you'll like it. Head on over to my website, sign up for my mailing list, and you'll be the first one to know when it announces, and it should be in a matter of weeks, certainly before the end of the year is the intention. So with that, let's talk about black and white photography. So black and white photos is something I always enjoy looking at. I love deep contrast, a lot of structure in them, and it's personally something I've wanted to grow in and seeing the world in a black and white way. And it's really easy these days to literally see the world in black and white with modern cameras. And let me first show you a little bit of footage here from this shoot I went to at the Coronado Bridge. And I'll come back and talk a little bit about the camera and how I used it to help me find interesting black and white compositions.
It's a very quiet, calm morning. Come out to the Coronado Bridge. And it's dark. It's about an hour before sunrise. But you can get an idea of what I'm looking at here, the curve of the bridge coming in from the left. It's reflecting in very, very still, calm water. And what is less easy for you guys to see right now is there's a bit of light cloud cover as I tip the camera upwards. So maybe now above these lights, there is some empty patches of sky, and then the clouds are kind of hanging over the horizon there. I started off down at water level, but I wasn't getting enough of the reflections in there, so I moved up a little tiny bit of the hillside. See, there's one of the test shots I've just taken. It's at f11, about 20 seconds is what I'm metering. So some nice color in the sky already, a little bit better of a reflection line. I'm going to wander back and forth along this area just a little bit more. I would like to minimize what's going on at the shoreline. It's a little bit mucky and dingy down there, but otherwise this is shaping up to be a very nice morning. I'm in that awkward period between the blue hour. You can see the sky is starting to get brighter, washed out, more gray. The sun hasn't come up yet, so I took some shots that look quite nice when it was very dark, and you got nice hues of blues, and those are reflecting in the water here. Right now it's kind of dull and boring. I'm going to take a couple of them, so they may look interesting in monochrome.
There was not a lot of color to begin with on this morning, so that certainly helps in seeing the world in a more monochrome way. There was a bit of color that did show up toward the end of the shoot. The sky started to break up a little bit, and some of the blues and a little bit of even pinks and oranges showed up in the sky. But for the black and white stuff, the thing I've been doing, and it's really easy to do, is use these creative modes that are in your camera. And there's probably one for black and white. Now, that in and of itself, might not be that interesting. Great, I click the shutter and I get a black and white photo, and I'm not interested in how the camera or how the computer in the camera is going to render those different tones. What it's really cool for is either with your live view or through your EVF, you're going to see the scene in black and white right away, right there. And so I have this set up as one of my user settings to just dial on over there, and I get a RAW plus JPEG. So I still get the raw color photo that I'm shooting, and I get a JPEG that is black and white rendering. But what I really like about it is I get that immediate feedback. And so when you're looking at something that has a lot of color, you're like, oh, maybe that'd be interesting in a different black and white way. You look through it and you go, oh, it's not right. The contrast isn't there. Conversely, when you look at the scene with black and white, you're going to see the contrast a lot more. If you've ever watched any of the in-post videos, you've seen that I'll switch into black and white when I'm adjusting contrast because I can see the contrast easier. Well, you can do that in the field too with your camera. So take a look at your camera, find out if it has a creative mode, and if it has one for black and white, play around with it. Even just walking around the house, looking through the viewfinder, looking at your live view to see what does your surrounding look like in black and white. And the tip of the week is creative modes. They actually can be useful. I know that sometimes they're think of as like cartoon modes on your camera where I'll go set this up and it will go take a sepia toned photo for me and I'll never have to do any processing. And quite honestly, some of them come out looking pretty cool in and of themselves, but you can use them to just help you see the world differently. And in my case, in this video, I'm talking about doing it with black and white. So take a look at them. Don't discount them as, amateur hour or, cartoonish. They can be very, very useful creative tools. And that concludes this week's In the Field. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate you share this with your friends. +1s and likes and so forth on social media are always appreciated. And if you have questions, please reach out to me, ask a question. Love to hear from you. You'll get an answer probably within a day or two. And if it's something I think will be very interesting in general to photography, it may be featured on a future Q&A episode of In the Field. So, hope you send in some questions, and until next time, my name's Scott Davenport. Happy shooting.